Hello, everyone. This is Valerie Ann with the Truth Exposition Show at Freedomizer Radio. Right now, I'm going to get off the topic. I still do my research at Memoria Station, but I wanted to also. I've been doing research on something else that has caught my attention. So for now, we're not going to discuss Nibiru or Planet X or any other planetary object that's in our solar system. I do want to bring attention some other important information that also can be a cause of the events, the weather events and catastrophic events that are happening worldwide in the past year or so. The frequency of those events, not those events as individual events. Yes, we have always had earthquakes and volcanoes have erupted. I understand that, but it's the frequency of events that have been happening in the last 2 years that brought my attention to do my research. Now, this article states that there is an astrophysicist by the name of Alexia Demetria or Dimitri who states that our solar system is entering an interstellar energy cloud that will soon bring global catastrophe. Now, I'm continuing to do research on this, but I found this article and I found various other articles on this, and I'll be doing more videos on this. Okay. So, if anybody actually listens to this video, if you have any additional information on this, that would be really helpful. So, this article basically goes on to say that the solar system is entering an interstellar energy cloud and that Earth will soon cross through the absolute center of the dark rift of the Milky Way around December 21st, 2012. It goes on to state that the dark rift is littered with space debris that consists of stationary rocks, boulders, even asteroids, and some objects which are planet size. So, this article here, again, this is the title if you want to look it up. Now, the reason why this brought my attention, I was interested in this, is because last week, also yesterday, there were witness accounts of meteors flying across the sky and then hitting Earth and impacting Earth. And with reading this, I kind of tried to put two and two together. I'm not sure if it's related, if it's a coincidence, or it's just, something that just happens. Now, I know meteor rocks do exist. Debris always have hit Earth from space. I understand that. It just seems to be more frequent now. Again, it's the frequency of events that I look at, not the actual individual event itself. So now there were it states here, media explodes above Devon, England. Blast wave blows open police station doors. Tremors felt across the world, across the wide area. Now this is in England, so even police departments are actually reporting this. Now, if you go here, which I can get to it, it's a little slow. If you can go here, it is the latest worldwide media and fireball reports. Obviously, people, what they do is they'll come here and report what they've seen, any kind of fireballs or meteors. Again, I know they exist, they've happened, but it seems to be more frequent now than it has been. I also read a report in the last 8 years, meteors being seen are more frequent than they were in history. Again, this is what I'm reading. If anybody has any additional information or provide me any scientific information about this or anything, I'd really appreciate that. And I have here again October 19th in Poland, one was seen. October 18th, you'll see a bunch here. Okay, and it goes on. The site is really slow, so bear with me. But October 18th, there was a lot of witness accounts of something bright flying through the sky. And on the 17th, and it goes back to the 16th and the 15th and the 14th. So with that said, if you want to check it out yourself, these are people just reporting. This is the site, the latest worldwide meteor fireball reports. Then here, meteorite impacts Earth in Minden, Louisiana. Media and government cover it up, of course. I'm assuming they're covering this up because they don't want to cause mass panic. I understand. I get it. But you'd think they would tell us something. At least tell us something. It's unfortunate that they feel like they can't because they're afraid of mass panic and looting and the criminals in society gaining from this kind of event, of course. So that's what we're facing here. If they're going to tell us something, it probably won't give us much time to do anything. Then again, if meteors are frequent meteors impacting Earth, I don't know, how one, even in an inner city or city area, can survive something like that if it was extremely serious. Now, this goes on to say that Louisiana had an explosion. People have, and I've read other news accounts, people actually seen this thing flying across the sky. So for them to say it was an explosion, it just doesn't make any sense. Wanted to find something else here. I couldn't find it. Basically, there have been reports about these meteors in different locations. There was one in a few in California reporting the other day, the same day as the Louisiana so-called explosion that happened in a bunker. So this actually is a pretty good article. It's Meteorite Impacts Earth in Minden, Louisiana. Okay, dated October 17th. And it goes on to say the police department even actually reported this. And it looks to me that they changed after the police department stated that they thought it was a meteor. They changed their story to an underground bunker being, actually exploding. It just doesn't make sense. I think they were just basically asked to change their story. That's what I think it is. Other people believe the same thing. They started tracking the startling increase in reports of meteor, comet fragment sightings for impacts. And again, that's in the last 8 years, so it have been more frequent in the last several years than it has previously. And it just states on that night, people across Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi reported seeing bright flashes in the sky on fireball trails. So in other areas, they've seen this. So why is it they're trying to say there were explosions? How can they possibly be explosions in one place and in Texas, Mississippi, and even in California, and even Canada had reported media sightings? So that is just questionable. Going back to this report, the solar system entering the interstellar cloud, this is also some information on that. And although this is from 2011, this Alexia Demetria started basically stating in 2011 that we were supposed to pass through an interstellar cloud. So the thing is, this is a pretty decent article to read as well. And this brings me to this. NASA warns employees to be prepared. I actually had seen the video, if I can find it. Here it is. I'm not going to play the video because I'm sure everybody had seen it, but this is the video that kind of went viral. There's thousands of them. This is only 1,789 people viewing this, but they're all over YouTube. And basically what NASA was saying in this video, and it was last year, they said that that NASA and DHS have enacted an emergency preparedness program for the continuity of government, and they had exercises on this. And this NASA official basically states, tells its employees that they need to be prepared in case of an event. This is the emergency alert system, and they're continuing to do, they're continuing to do reports, which I have a report here that they recently conducted, dated October 19th. And it's just they're testing the EAS system, which is fine. I think it's great that they're, testing their systems in the event something was to happen so they can tell the public. The thing is, the problem I have is that when are they going to tell the public? Are they going to tell the public when it's too late? So, of course, they have this emergency system and they're required to do this. And it's through the FCC. And DHS is involved in this. So what the EAS system is, it's an emergency alert system, which is a national public warning system that requires TV and radio broadcasters, cable vision systems, wireless cable systems, satellite digital audio radio providers, direct broadcast satellite service providers, and wireline video service providers to offer to the president the communications capability to address the American public during a national emergency. Now, that's great that they have this. I understand. But it just seems to be more activity with this. I'm trying to look for reports when how frequent they do these tests. Again, I can only find one from yesterday. And this is also interesting, dated March 16, 2012. The Executive Order National Defense Resources Preparedness. Now, you all know how Obama likes his executive orders, but I won't go into that. Basically, this gives the president and the federal government the control over any communication system. And I believe that this is involved with the EAS system. I understand that. Okay. So there's a reason why, though. I mean, it's great that they have these order, everything in order, or trying to be in order and prepare for any natural event. Could be an extinction level event, a biological event. Who knows? But the thing is, they're coming out with all these executive orders, and I feel it's because they know something's going to happen, and they're trying to prepare the government and continuity of government of trying to prepare for this. How they want to let the public know, they probably just don't know yet how they would tell us. But I don't think that it would be they wouldn't give us much time. And that's how I feel because, again, I believe they just want to avoid any kind of mass panic, looting, civil unrest. And that's probably what would occur if they were to tell us today that an event is going to happen that can basically wipe out everybody on Earth and humanity. So, again, in their defense, somewhat, I understand why they're kind of keeping it a secret. But, again, all these executive orders are being enacted. This is July 6, 2012. That basically gives the federal government control over everything. Food resources, again, communications, transportation. Department of Homeland Security oversees developing testing and implementation. I mean, they're assigning DHS, also FEMA, for all these emergency situations. So these executive orders are coming out for a reason. And we've always had executive orders, obviously, in preparing, but it just seems to be, again, what I question is the frequency of the events, not the individual event itself. As we know, volcanic activity has happened. It just seems to be more frequent now that volcano eruptions have been happening kind of simultaneously. Okay, if you could just do a Google search and see flooding, earthquakes, sinkholes. I mean, the Louisiana sinkhole is growing, up to 4 acres. So this is the frequency of events between 2011 and 2012. It just seems to be more frequent now. So if anybody actually has any of this information regarding these meteors, actually seen them, if they can post it, that'll be great. Again, it could be that we're entering this interstellar energy cloud by 2012, by December 21st, 2012, or even anytime thereafter. But there's something happening. I don't like to put dates on events because if you put a date on an event and it doesn't happen, it kind of discredits your research. So dates we don't know about. Something can happen within this year, something can happen within next year, but something I feel is going to happen. There is just way too many events that are happening in the past couple of years. I mean, mass animal deaths, again, increased in earthquakes, Ring of Fire, about a couple months ago was pretty active with earthquakes and volcano activity. NASA giving its employees warnings to be prepared. Extreme weather events, increase in CME activity. That's another thing that astrophysicist Michio Kaku had explained as well. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to be conducting more research. I mean, other things like the Arctic Sea melting, even Fox News, and I'm not a fan of mainstream media, but even Fox News had basically started discussing meteors and weather events and everything. So even mainstream media is kind of trying to give us hints. So if anybody has any information about these meteors, or I can't find any additional information in additional locations, but it's happening. And I'm not sure if it's happening, if it actually has to do with this, us entering this interstellar energy cloud. So if anybody has any additional information, I'd appreciate it. Take care.